Do you know that God is a dreamer? He is the ultimate dream king. And because of that, we as His daughters are called to dream. So what is the dream that the Lord has put in your heart? You know, the Lord has actually planted seeds of dreams in our hearts. When we are born again, when the Holy Spirit comes in our life, and when we begin to have a relationship with the Lord, He plants dreams in seed form in our hearts, and it is like a process of pregnancy. You know, from the conception to giving birth to the baby. It takes time and it takes a process. So, you know, do not be discouraged if we do not see the dreams that the Lord has put in our hearts come to pass within the next few months or even just 1 or 2 years. Because it takes time for those dreams in its seed form in our hearts to be taken through the process to reach its time of where we actually give birth. A lot of times, just like a seed, it has to be watered, right, for the seed to actually grow. So the same thing, we water our dreams that the Lord has placed in our heart by being in His presence, bring the dream before the Lord and talk to Him, communicate with Him, and then slowly partner with Him to see the dream come to pass. Let's take a look at one character in the Bible who is none other than King David. So in 2 Samuel 7, we actually saw how David dreamt of building God a resting place, and that actually moved the heart of the Lord so much. So now let's take a look at 2 Samuel 7. Now it came to pass when the king was dwelling in the house, and the Lord had given him rest from all his enemies all around, that the king said to Nathan the prophet, "See now, I dwell in the house of cedar, but the ark of the Lord dwells inside the tent curtains." Then Nathan said to the king, "Go, do all that is in your heart, for the Lord is with you." And so, how many of us are like David? We had dreams in our heart, but a lot of times we just don't say it out, we don't verbalize it. We just keep it in our hearts and in our mind. But David actually began to just make known, share the dream in his heart to his friend, Nathan the prophet. And he just shared that. And then Nathan began to affirm the words, the dream that David had shared to him. He said, "Go and do all that the Lord has put in your heart to do, for the Lord is with you." We're not going to read it, but right after that, the Lord actually sent Nathan to tell David how he felt about that. The Lord actually was so moved by David's dream and his desires to build him a resting place. So a lot of times, God is actually very moved by the dreams or the desires in our heart. But a lot of us, we do not dare to even dream. We do not dare to voice out some of the dreams that He has put in our hearts. So, we're calling all the dreamers, we're calling you to come and gather together in this conference where we'll be gathering all the dreamers together, those whom the Lord has planted dreams in your heart. Dream for big things. But we're not going to stop there. We're not going to just gather dreamers together, but we are calling dreamers to be builders like Nehemiah. And in the book of Nehemiah, what we see is that when Nehemiah heard of the distress that his fellow Jewish people, those who have been in captivity, have felt, they're in distress, they're crying. Why? Because the walls of Jerusalem was broken down and the gates were on fire. And when Nehemiah heard that, he wept and he mourned. And he went into fasting and he went into prayer to intercede for his people and for the city. So after that, he began to pray and ask the Lord, to allow him to go back and to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. And then he began to approach the king to get a permission to go and build. And he called other builders together to build that the Lord has put in his heart to build. And then all the people said yes to it. And then he said, "Come, let us rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, that we may no longer be a reproach." And the rest of them answered and said, "Let us rise up and build." Then they set their hearts to this good work. So that is what we are going to be doing in this conference. We will call all of you together to dream together. First, we will dream together, and then we will incubate the dream. We'll sit before the Lord in His presence and start hearing some of the dreams that the Lord is putting in our hearts. And then we will begin to share it with others and hear our dreams being affirmed. And then after that, we are going to build. And then all the people are going to say, "Come, let us rebuild." And the thing about Nehemiah and all these people that built together with him is they finished building the walls of Jerusalem in 52 days. 52 days, they finished building the whole walls of Jerusalem. So the same thing with us. I believe in the power of unity. I believe that when we, especially as women, gather together to build something, to be kingdom builders, to build the vision and the dreams that the Lord has put in our hearts to build, we can do great and mighty things. And like what Lou English said, every dream is a potential movement. So how many dreams have the Lord planted in your heart that has laid dormant? I believe that it can be awakened, it can be ignited, it can be revived through this conference. So we are calling you. I'm calling the Davids of this generation. I'm calling the Nehemiahs of this generation. And I'm calling the Esthers of this generation to rise up for such a time as this. That we will no longer wait for permission to do things. We will no longer just wait for things to happen. But we will dream with the Lord, take actions towards it, and start building and see it come to pass. So I will see you at the conference on 27 and 28 August 2021. See you there!